In this video, we're going to be using the Maddie Lindholm Shaving Supplies Lemon Lime Shaving Soap and the Atra razor. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned before, today we're going to be using Maddie Lindholm Shaving Supplies. This is Lemon Lime. Our good friend Maddie from Sweden, I will link his channel below, had Marion send this to me as a birthday gift. Thank you so much, Maddie. I really appreciate it. And I really like the scent. The lemon lime for me is right up my alley. I'd say it's close to medium in scent strength. Very simple ingredients on this soap. I'll read them to you. It is simply soy wax, coconut oil, shea butter, water, and essential oil. So not a lot of fancy stuff in here. No chupacabra oil or dragon tallow. Just good old-fashioned lathering shaving soap that, for me, results in an excellent shave. And if you're interested in these or virtually any of the Maddie Lindholm Shaving Supplies, you can hit up Marion The Barbarian. I will put his email address below. And again, this was a gift from Maddie. So thank you, Maddie. I like it very much. Thank you. So the razor for today is the Gillette Atra, which I used on my face the other day, but today we're going to use it on the dome. And I'm using these Persona blades. I took the vintage blade out, which you can see right here. I don't throw it in the floor. And I'm using the Persona, which has the lubrication strip. Completely unnecessary for me for this style of shaving, but you know, it can't hurt, or at least I don't think it will. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're just going to put some water. This is just plain water in what's called a continuous mister, and wetting the dome here, and then we'll start lathering up. Stand by. I need to get a cloth so I can dry my hands. All right, and we're back, and we're going to mist a little bit more there, and we'll just get to lathering today with our Maddie Lindholm Shaving Supplies soap. We have a nice lather here whipped up in our Captain's Choice copper bowl, and I'm using the Polar G4 brush, which you can get on Amazon. I will link it below, and we expect to get a nice shave today. Nice relaxing head shave, and we'll chat a little bit. Thanks to those of you who come and watch these head shaving videos. I know they're not for everyone, but I enjoy doing them. And I tell you what, I've been using these European soaps almost every other day, and soaps from all over the world, not just European, Indian, you know, all over. And one of the things I've found is that there's something very enjoyable about just something that is straightforward and easy. You don't have to dial it in. Those things, dialing things in, that's for the uber hobbyists, which is fine for people like us who are hobbyists, but does that really advance the cause in terms of bringing new people in when you have to dial things in, or people have to struggle with lathering soaps? In my mind, having a soap that is user-friendly in terms of new people being able to lather easily and successfully, I think that will do far more than catering to the uber hobbyists among us, like myself, who, you know, really enjoy sometimes, you know, trying to dial things in. And honestly, for me, I found this year, 2021, that I have really enjoyed not having to dial things in, using these straightforward, easygoing products with relatively simple ingredients. And as you can see there, there's no issue lathering this soap. Straightforward and easy. And I think the key to any hobby is drawing more people in as often as you possibly can. And for me, if you make things to where you have to dial them in and you have to bring chemistry equipment into the restroom to lather a soap, or if they're so finicky that they require a lot of extra work, you know, that may not be the way to grow things. In fact, I tend to think user-friendly is a good way to go. So for me, these soaps like this one here, which is very straightforward, simple, I think is a big plus. And when you put this in the hands of someone new, they're probably not going to struggle with it. If you put some of the other soaps that are perhaps what many people consider to be, you know, they have more skin food or this or that, or all the, you know, luxury ingredients, maybe they're not quite as easy and straightforward to lather. And there is a market for that. So I certainly am happy that those products exist. But from a growth perspective, you know, I like to see a little bit of everything. And I think we've seen a ton of focus on skin food, and I think it would be nice to see a little bit more maybe in the realm of just making things good old user-friendly, you know, making the products that are just user-friendly, easy to use, and just that are likely to give you a very good result. Now this razor here, by the way, and by the way, that stickiness you're seeing there is that silly lubrication strip, which is just pitiful. And not necessary, but I got those blades. They're Persona blades, and they'll work with the Track 2, the Atra, or other sort of blades. Absolutely not necessary. Look at that. That's preposterous. So I can tell you right now, that's not something that I like in this blade. Because you just don't need that. And what's happening is, it's as it sort of breaks down, you see how that's sticky. So that to me is not very user-friendly. But anyway, I would just love to see a sort of recentering. And I'm only speaking from my perspective in terms of what I think would be helpful for growth. Is just, I would love to see artisans making lines that are just straightforward and easy to work with. So in other words, keep your luxury formula, you know, if you have one. But also maybe if you have the ability to, maybe develop a formula that's just straightforward, easygoing, simple ingredients, good, cost-efficient product, or cost-effective, I should say, that, you know, people will enjoy. Because for me, again, enjoyment is really the key when it comes to this. Is if it's not enjoyable, people aren't going to do it. And not everybody wants to take the time to learn to dial soaps in. And me, I've gotten to the point where I've tried enough now to where it's like, okay, do I really want to go to that trouble? Not really. You know, because at a certain point, I think you arrive at a mindset, okay, I've tried most everything out there, or over the last, you know, close to 10 years. And, you know, I've been here long enough to see the way things have evolved in some cases, and maybe even taken a step back in others. And so I would love to see artisans just, in some ways, getting back to basics and producing user-friendly soaps. Soaps that in the hands of the novice will work well. And they go, ooh, you know, that's very nice. That lathered well, it's got a great scent. And to me, that does a lot to grow the hobby. I think more so than catering to those of us who have tried everything. Because I think you consistently need new people all the time. And while catering to the uber hobbyist is good, because, you know, we're obviously going to keep buying stuff. Growth-wise, I think it's certainly advantageous to sort of be going after everybody, you know. And I must say, I don't know if this blade is doing a great job. I'm still feeling a lot of leftover hair there, so I don't know. With the vintage blade, this thing on the face was magic. On the head, it's just kind of, you know, so-so today. But the soap is performing well, so I'm really enjoying that. But the blade, I'm not really digging, especially because that silly lubrication strip is just not doing much. And I'm feeling way more hair left over than I normally would. So I don't know, those blades might have been a bad buy for me. They were Persona, and so I tend to trust Persona blades and sort of took a flyer on them, but I don't think they're doing a great job, to be honest with you. What is doing a good job, though, is this soap. Very nice. So thank you, Maddie, again. Great scent. If you like lemon lime. If you're in the U.S., again, talk to Marion The Barbarian. Link his email address below. I don't know what this particular one costs. Now they're in the tub, which I like a lot. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. But I don't know what the cost is because I didn't buy this one. And I always mention, if something is sent to me like this as a gift or evaluation or whatever, I always mention that to you, so you can take that into consideration and, you know, use the information as you see fit. But I can tell you right now, this stuff is quite user-friendly. Smells great. No no irritation of any sort like frag burn, and it's got enough scent to where you really appreciate it without it being overpowering. And so for me, absolute winner. But on the blade for this Atra, which is the 1977 Atra, by the way, I'm not really crazy enthusiastic about the blade, but boy, the soap, very nice. And really, to me, just think it's, I don't know, I just enjoy it. I've really been enjoying, let's get the neck cleaned up first there. Really been enjoying using these, what I just call straightforward ease of use. The ease of use is very high on these products. And for me, I just dig it. So thank you, Maddie. I really appreciate it. And despite this blade not being very good, it is enjoyable. But the blade, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not doing much. I'm not digging the blade at all. It's almost like it's not doing anything. But we'll keep after it and see if we can maybe work some efficiency out of it. That lubrication strip is just a fail. That is just, obviously when you have a shaving soap like this, you don't need that lubrication strip, but it's getting sort of mixed in with the soap and feels quite gummy and ridiculous. And even when I did use carts a lot on my face, I never really appreciated the lubrication strip very much, honestly. I really don't see the need for it, so I wonder if I could take that off. I'm not going to do it during the shave, but I think for future shaves, maybe I would be inclined to sort of wear that down so it's not so annoying, because it's a little bit annoying, to be honest with you. Otherwise, it's feeling better now, but it's absolutely not necessary when you're using a soap like this. Sorry for all the rinsing. Maddie, he had made a video the other day where he was talking about rinsing, and I certainly do that. And especially with a cart, I find that you need to rinse more, obviously, because they can clog up on you. But Maddie, brother, sorry about the rinsing. Try not to talk too much during the rinse so you can hear. But please, if you like, check out Maddie soaps with Marion, or if you're in Europe, you can always hit up Maddie directly, and I will link his channel below. I've used his soaps, I don't know, 5 or 6 times now. Have never been disappointed. And, I have a pretty good bit of experience with soaps. I have a lot of videos over the years using pretty much everything there is. And I have found that Maddie's soap, for my purposes, does exactly what it needs to do. Which is, for me, smell great, provide that good slickness and, what you need. Provides a good platform for the razor to glide over. But again, someone had actually told me they didn't think I would like these blades, and I don't like them that much. The vintage blade I used on my face was much better, but I didn't want to use that today because I just wanted to try these blades. And I think they'd be okay without the lubrication strip. And I think for a face shave, they'd probably be okay also. But for the head, honestly, they're not feeling that great. I don't think I've done a particularly good job with them, if you just want me to be honest. And that lubrication strip, oh man. That thing just gets in the way and gums up. Just absurd. But I guess at the time, they were planning on people using edge gel and something maybe, didn't have as much coverage as something like, the Maddie Lindholm soap here. But, the soap is doing a great job, I gotta say. So how did we do? Got some work to do there. Honestly, I think I can still see spots all over the place. There's just spots everywhere. This was not good. You know, and I do use carts from time to time on the head, but the Atra with that Persona blade, not very good. So I'm gonna have to, let's bring out the Harry's here and do another pass just to clean all this mess up. And I'm sorry, this head shave will go longer than mine typically go, but I don't have any choice because that was just rubbish. That blade was just not great for head shaving for me. Now, one of the things I want to mention is, just because I don't like that blade for head shaving doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it, or that if it works well for you, I will certainly not say it works poorly for you. That's one of the things we try hard not to do, is to project my experience onto you, or say or deny your experience. Because if you're there shaving and you say something works well, then it does. And if I'm here shaving saying something works well or something doesn't, it does or does not, depending on, and so our experience is what it is. And the folks who come along and go, you didn't do this and this and this, and I'm like, well, this is what happened. This was my experience, my water, my restroom, my use case, you know. And that can be wildly different from yours, and it's okay. We have different experiences. Yeah, I can see I'm taking off a lot more there. Yeah, just not the that Persona blade was just, and I think I've got sort of gummy, some of that stuff left over there from that lubrication strip. Although actually the Harry's has one too, but it doesn't seem to degrade quite as much as that Persona strip was doing, so who knows. But we'll definitely get this cleaned up real quick here so we can move this thing along, because we're already at 18 minutes. And usually I don't take that long for a head shave. So let's get it moving, CDB. Let's get a move on. Get this thing closed out, because we don't want to be going all day. And what I'll do here is just finish the final few strokes here. Let's rinse the razor first. Let's go from front to back a few strokes, and after we do that, we'll call that good enough and come back and get into the post, in the interest of saving some time, because I know you don't have a ton of time. Today, by the way, is Thursday. This won't air till about Tuesday, probably, because as I said, I've done some of these in advance. But right there's a little more. There's a little more, and we'll call that good. Let me rinse. We'll come back, get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back, and we're going to move through this quickly. The Maddie Lindholm Shaving Supplies, now in a tub, lemon lime. Big thumbs up. Thank you, Maddie. The Atra razor from 1977 with Persona blades. I did not like it. I did not like it at all. I do love the vintage blade on the Atra, but that Persona blade for head shaving was not good. We'll close it out today with Hega, which is one of Maddie's favorite. He calls it toxic waste. And we will close this out. I want to thank you all for joining me for this head shave. I enjoyed it, even with the blade not being really awesome. It was still a great shave and a great way to spend a little time with you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.